Hi everybody, welcome to week 3 of Global Management. There's a lot going to go on this week. I hope you're getting the flow of things here so far, but let me give you a little preview of what it is that we've got going on here. First, you're going to be integrating some of the research that you did last week with the PESTLE analysis and the cultural analysis and integrating that into the overall decision factor analysis using the weighted decision matrix. So you've got to use that and then integrate that into the assignment that is going to be due here at the end of week 3. We're going to be learning a lot about currency this week. There are loads of videos. It is a complex sort of thing that happens when you're taking into account foreign exchange, when you deal with a global expansion. It's also a key strategic thing that you need to know about if you're ever making decisions as a business leader. So this stuff is all really important to know about. But I encourage you to watch the videos that I made about currency. It breaks it down in really simple ways, and I think hopefully really explains the importance of all of this. And these things hopefully will help you wrap your mind around the kinds of things that you need to do in order to try to do your currency analysis, which is an important part of this decision factor analysis. Another thing that you're going to be looking at is strategy, particularly entry strategy. So based on this weighted decision factor, hopefully you pick a place that you want to go. You start with 3 countries, you're going to narrow it down to 1. And then the big question is, how are you going to enter, right? Are you going to use a joint venture, or are you going to franchise? Like a wholly owned subsidiary, there's lots of different choices. Again, there's material in the book you can read about that. There's a video available. We looked at this stuff a little bit during week 1, but this is really when it's going to become more important because it's going to be practical for you to make a decision like that. I mentioned that strategy is one of the key themes of this week. So it's not just entry strategy, but it's broad global strategy. So some of the themes that we're also going to be talking about are, what do businesses do in order to adapt to the global marketplace or to adapt to wherever it is that they are going? And what we find broadly is that businesses have to make a choice, right? They either standardize their operations or their marketing or whatever, or they adapt, right? They look at a certain place, they're like, there's not any way that we can just keep doing things the way that we're doing here in this country. We have to change things to some degree. So the question is, to what degree, how much, whether or not that's necessary. Those are big questions in terms of business. And it comes down to really a question of adaptability, right? How easily can I adapt versus cost? Like if I have to adapt, how much is that really going to increase my operations? Finally, we're going to be looking at a case study of Target. And Target, of course, is a huge retail player here in the United States, but we're going to talk about how they failed to set up operations in Canada. In Canada, of all places, right? A lot of people would want Target in Canada, but you're going to look at some of that global strategy stuff, you're going to look at the PESTLE analysis stuff that you did last week, and you're going to tear that case apart and figure out, like, what did Target do wrong? And maybe compare it to other examples of failed business expansions. Because it's important to understand that not all businesses make it work. And if you are expanding your business someplace else, you probably better get a good idea of some of the pitfalls that others have run into. I wish you all the best as you go forward in this week. Let me know if there's anything I can do to help you out. Hopefully you're feeling less overwhelmed, you feel like you're more on top of things, but again, I'm here, I'm available to talk to you one-on-one if you need to. We could set up a Zoom, we could set up a call, just anything. You send me an email, I'd be happy to answer that. Or if there's stuff that you're working on that you want me to review before you turn it in, I'm happy to have a look at it, right? My goal isn't to grade people harshly based on what they already know, but to coach people and bring them to a point where they know more and they are doing better versions of what they were doing before, right? The whole MBA is an experience. It's a process, and you should be different by the time you're done. And hopefully you'll be a better version of yourself. But let me know how I can help facilitate that process, because I really want you to succeed and I really want you to be better. So good luck this week. Let me know if I can help you, and we'll see you next time.